Okay, so today we're diving deep into something pretty intense. It's this track by Granimear and the Black Heat, Time Has Come to Pay, the Wonderland Dreams.
Right. And it's less like a typical song and more like, well, they call it a meticulous academic exercise, a kind of socio-technical document almost.
Exactly, packed into this really aggressive sound. Their main argument, the core thesis,
Yeah.
is this critique of what they term algorithmic colonization.
Yeah, it's a heavy concept. They're basically saying that, genuine human emotion, it's all been sort of co-opted, monetized online. Compromised, yeah. And because of that, the only, honest artistic stance left is to embrace the machine's voice. It's predictable, empty void. They even use AI failures, synthetic language for the lyrics.
And the sound itself kind of reflects that tension, doesn't it? It's this wild mix, heavy fear metal, which is all raw aggression, that primal dread.
Mm-hmm.
And then it slams into West Coast rage fusion, which is, super complex, improvisational, weird time signatures.
Totally. It's sophisticated, but still furious. It creates this conceptual clash right in the music itself.
So is the sound itself part of the protest then? Is it deliberately difficult to force you to think instead of just, headbanging along?
Oh, absolutely. The music is designed to resist compliance. That fusion you mentioned, the complex chords, the shifting rhythms, it's actively fighting against that easy, digestible 44 beat of mass consumption.
The pop formula.
Exactly. And it forces you back, makes you analyze it. You have to intellectualize the protest just to follow what's happening musically.
Okay, so the structure fights back. How do they tackle the social angle, the algorithmic colonization part? They talk about algorithmic rage.
Right. And their point is that this online fury we see everywhere, it's often not real spontaneous protest. It's become a predictable market commodity.
A commodity? How so?
Well, it taps into basic human psychology, doesn't it? We have this negativity bias. Algorithms know this, so they amplify the outrage, gets more clicks, more engagement.
Ah, okay. So the content might feel rebellious, but the act of raging online is actually
structurally compliant. Yeah, it's an expected, even encouraged behavior within the system. It serves the platform.
But wait, isn't there a flip side? What about forced compliance?
Yeah.
The sort of tyranny of the prevailing opinion, call-out culture, where stepping out of line gets you punished.
And that's the really sharp insight here. Granimear argues rage and compliance, they're not really opposites.
They're connected.
Totally connected. They're like two sides of the same coin, both destructive symptoms of the same underlying problem of failure in our digital social structures. The rage and the forced agreement are just predictable outputs.
Wow, okay. That leads into their use of AI failure, right? The whole overfitting concept.
Yeah, exactly, overfitting. So you train an AI on really polarized data, maybe just angry political posts from two extremes.
Right.
Eventually, the AI gets too good at mimicking that data. It just spits out repetitive, predictable stuff. It loses any ability to create something new or nuanced.
And Granimear uses that.
Well, I think they use that predictability as a metaphor. They're saying our human social discourse has become like that overfitted AI. It's tragically predictable, algorithmically contained. We're just echoing the polarized inputs we're fed.
So our social media feeds are kind of overfitting our brains on conflict. This is a bleak thought.
It is. But it makes the AI concept feel very real, very immediate.
So if that's the problem, what's the solution? Or at least the path of defiance they suggest.
They offer this symbol, the Queen of Spades Arboretum.
Okay, break that down. Queen of Spades, that's about strategy. Cunning.
Precisely. Intellect and cunning, not just brute force or raw rage. It's about thinking your way through, not just fighting. It counters that sort of street gladiator vibe of online arguments.
And the arboretum, like a structured garden.
Yeah, think measured, careful, structured botanical growth. It's the organic, patient approach versus the instant artificial environment of digital life. It's about cultivating something real and complex slowly.
A long-term strategy, not just reacting.
Exactly. So the title, Time Has Come to Pay, isn't about money. It's an intellectual price. You, the listener, have to confront how these systems shape your own emotions, your own reactions.
Realizing that so much conflict might just be scripted, following predictable loops laid out by the system.
That's the core of it.
It's really powerful. And it makes me think about the language they use, fragmented, AI-generated. It almost reminds me of that historical Enochian language, the supposed angelic speech from the 16th century.
That's a fascinating parallel. You could argue Granimear is doing a kind of secular version of that.
How so?
They're not trying to talk to angels. They're trying to communicate with the algorithmic subconscious, using its own broken, fragmented grammar.
To reveal its limits.
Exactly. To show the cold, predictable boundaries of the operating system itself, not some divine truth. It forces you to ask. When our language online becomes so broken and predictable, are we reflecting anything profound or just the constraints of the code?
Let's make some sweet music together.